Chinese cold dishes are an important part of traditional Chinese food culture. Whether at home or at a dinner party, they are the first course and are mainly served with wine. For this reason, they are often referred to as the three-dimensional picture scrolls at banquets. After the dishes are made, cold dish loading is the last important process that not only demonstrates a chef's exquisite knife skills, but also reflects his or her cultural knowledge, comprehensive quality, and artistic creativity. So, what are the common ways of loading Chinese cold dishes? To put it simply, there are usually 6 techniques: lining, stacking, folding, surrounding, placing, and overturning. They are closely related to the processing and the shaping of raw materials, such as strips, slices, blocks, or portions, as well as the shapes of cold dishes. Now, let's follow the master's footsteps and start the journey of loading cold dishes. Method 1. Orderly lining. The so-called lining refers to the method that the clickers are cut into the shapes of squares, strips, or ovals, and they are placed into rows on the flat plates. In general, the clickers suitable for lining are ham and salted shrimps, and so on.
将经过刀工处理好的厚片、块、条及小型原料整理整齐的成行的摆在盘中。
Most of them are the single plates, salted dishes, and colored dishes. During the process, thicker square or round pieces are generally used to facilitate molding. For example, ham can be lined up in zigzag patterns and stacked layer upon layer. The raw materials, both meat and vegetables, used in lining up are highly diverse, though the rules and the sequence for ordering them are set. Method 2. Carefully stacking. When it comes to stacking, it refers to the way of piling cooked dishes which are processed with a knife onto a plate and making them into simple patterns such as triangles and combs. Stacking method is generally used for single plates, requiring a large bottom and a small top to form a pagoda.
把熟料经过刀工处理加工成片、丝、丁后堆放在盆中。
It's generally used in single plates for loading braised beef, fried shrimps, and dried meat floss in meat dishes, and dried vegetable threads and lettuces in vegetable dishes. When stacking, the ingredients are usually placed in matching colors, stacked in patterns, and some can also be stacked into the shape of a pagoda. There's a wide selection of raw materials for the stacking technique, both meat without bones and vegetables. Shown in the video are lettuces, red peppers, yellow peppers, and other raw materials, which are first processed, beautified by knife skills, and then precisely seasoned. Method 3. Skillfully folding. Now, let's talk about folding. After being cut, the clickers are folded into a trapezoid piece by piece. It can be cut while folding or before folding, making a way of loading the plate with the shape of the official seal. The raw materials are usually formed into sheets and blocks and so on.
把加工好的熟料一片片的整齐的叠起，一般叠成拱桥形。
When stacking, It requires the use of knife skills. The stickers should be cut and stacked one by one. After stacking, it should be shoveled onto the knife surface and then covered into the basin with another kind of clickers as the bottom edge. There are many raw materials in line with the folding technique, including Western ham, pig tongue, beef, lamb, Rui rolls, vegetarian ham, lunch meat, cucumbers, and so forth. Method 4, beautifully surrounding. When it comes to surrounding, it means that the cut clickers are arranged in a ring, which can be surrounded by one or more layers. Other accessories are placed in the middle of the enclosure to form a beautiful flower shape and increase its aesthetic appeal.
就是将切好的生料、熟料环形层层围绕，叫做围。
Specifically, on the edge of main material, a layer of supplementary ingredients is placed around the main ingredient in floral pattern, which is called edging. The main material is surrounded into flowers, and another supplementary material is used in the middle to decorate the floral center, which is called lining. In addition, according to the certain circular rules, the cut pieces or pieces processed with knife skills are stacked regularly around the slices, which is called stacking. Method 5, neatly placing. As for placing, it's a loading method to cut the clickers into various shapes with certain knife skills. And then a variety of vivid and realistic patterns are placed, such as phoenixes, peacocks, and roosters.
用精巧的刀工，把不同的色彩、形状、质地的原料加工成一定形状。
According to the design requirements, which might include phoenix, peacock, rooster, butterfly, chrysanthemum, and so on. This method requires skilled techniques and strong artistic sensibility to create a lively and vivid shape. In fact, there are many choices of raw materials for this technique, such as white radish, dried tofu, cucumber, radish roll, stewed duck, and so on. Any raw materials, both animals without bones and plants, can basically be used. Method 6, gently overturning. Finally, let's take a close look at the method known as overturning. It's a dish loading technique to arrange the clickers into a bowl or on the knife surface, which is then buckled onto a plate or over the coated dish at the bottom of a flat plate, making the surface of the plate neat and more beautiful.
将熟料先排在碗中或刀面上，再放扣入盘中或菜面上的叫敷。
For example, after the fried chicken and the stewed duck into the cold dish are cut into pieces, they are first lined up in a bowl with the front side down. The marinade is added, and then the bowl is turned over onto the plate to be eaten. It's particularly worth mentioning that the overturning technique requires a higher selection of raw materials, and the raw materials without any bones or a small amount of cartilage should be selected, such as white cut chicken, Western ham, lunch meat, sausage, and so on. As the Chinese saying goes, to the people, Food is heaven. Because of this, diet and culture are inseparable and coexist seamlessly. Nowadays, when building a well-off society in an all-round way, Chinese eating behaviors have been also changed from eating full to eating wealthy to eating healthy and finally to eating happily. To put it more frankly, in an era when people are full and are no longer hungry, rice is not important, but instead both are. In other words, Chinese people pay more attention to the pursuit of art while eating. In particular, through the skillful hands of chefs, the cold dishes on the table have turned delicacies into pleasant artworks, and beauty serves the needs of the food. All in all, the artistic value displayed by Chinese cooked dishes will lead both Chinese and foreign diners to feel that what they eat is not only the food, but also the elegance. More importantly, it also becomes a golden key to the study of Chinese food culture.